Hey, it's Pastor GJ. I want to thank you for your commitment and dedication to the children and the ministry here at Cornerstone and in this community, and how you use your spiritual gifts to reach out and teach the children here about Jesus. And I just want to, like I said, thank you for that. And I don't take your commitment and dedication lightly, and you are to be commended for that. And I wanted to talk a little bit today about preparation for our class time, whether you teach on Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon or sometime during the week at a weekday ministry. I want to talk about some things that we can do to better prepare ourselves for that particular class time. And of course, the first thing that we always want to do is to start off in prayer. We want to ask God to guide us as we're studying His Word and working our way and preparing our lesson and coming up with those activities and different things, that God would just work through us to provide what those children need to learn those things that we're trying to teach. But not only that, we want to pray for the children that we will be teaching and their families, that God would prepare their hearts and open them up to hear His Word and really to prepare them to learn it and to retain what they're learning. So prayer is a certain important element in preparation, but not only that, we want to begin our preparation early. And if you begin preparing, say if you teach on Sunday, if you begin preparing on Monday or Tuesday and take a look at the scripture, take a look at what the lesson idea is, maybe if you were to wait, so say Thursday or Friday, maybe even Saturday, to start preparing for those lessons, if you prepared early, you might be able to think of some ideas that you wouldn't have thought of if you just had a day or two. If you start preparing Monday or Tuesday, then maybe by Thursday or Friday, you'll have thought of some kind of idea that would just be awesome and be perfect for that lesson that maybe you wouldn't have thought of if you only had a day or two to work on it. So take a look at your lesson early, look at the scripture passage early, know what you'll be teaching on, and then look for illustrations and examples and think about possible activities throughout the week that maybe you can use. So preparing early is key. But also, I know that I've had some teachers tell me that, well, whenever I show up, I'm not really 100% sure what activities I should prepare for because I don't know what's going to be in my room. So asking questions is an important step in our preparation. If you are wondering about what kind of activity we prepared for you in your room, or wondering about a particular meaning of scripture, or wondering what might best fit your class or your age group that you're teaching, feel free to ask me anything or ask any of our leaders, that kind of stuff. I'm here. You can email me or call the church office anytime, and I'd be glad to answer your questions. So asking questions is an important aspect to preparation. But with those kind of things come arriving early, so that way you can take a look at what we've prepared for you, how your classroom is set up. If there was some kind of event at church over the weekend, maybe maybe your classroom isn't set up exactly like you wanted it to be. So arriving early, getting those things set, can be essential in preparing for your class time. So that way you can have all your stuff organized, know what's going to go on once the kids get there. So that's certainly an important element. Also, having those rules and expectations and kind of things laid out for the children before they get in there is important. If you are involved up in the kids zone with our 1st through 4th graders, you know that every week I go over kind of the rules that I call our kids zone rules, but really they could apply to any ministry that we have in Cornerstone Kids. The 3 rules that I tell them are, first off, is to respect God. That of course means that we want to, anything we say, think, do should all please God, because He is the most important, is most important in our lives, should be. And so respecting God is rule number 1. Respecting leaders is rule number 2. And that means that any adult who is talking, that you are to be quiet and listening, but also you are to obey what they say. And the last one is to respect others. And that means to, of course, treat others how you want to be treated, say kind words, keep your hands to yourself. So those 3 rules, respect God, respect leaders, respect others, I think those 3 things can be used in any class situation, any setting, and really any time in life. You know, those 3 rules are essential to kids as they grow up to do those things. So what I would like to do is I'll probably have in each one of our rooms in the next few weeks a sign that actually has those rules on it for your class rules. And so just having those expectations for the kids, that way they can know each and every week, okay, these are our class rules, these are our expectations when we go in here. So that is very important to establish as you're preparing what those kind of rules are. And if there are any particular rules for any activities or games, establish those early, whereas kids may not be familiar with that activity or whatever as you're going in. If it's something new, you know, make sure you've got those boundaries set for them before you start playing those kind of things. The last thing I want to talk about is focusing on relationships. And you know, this is essential in creating a children's ministry where children love to attend, because we want children, when they come in to Cornerstone, and families, to know that the kids are important to us. And so doing different things like, of course, like I already mentioned, praying for the children, but also, you know, learning their names. That's something that I've really had to work on since I've been here. As you know, I've only been here about 3 months or so, and trying to learn all the kids' names is certainly a daunting task that I'm having to take on. But if we can really try to intentionally learn children's names, they'll feel like, and they will know that they are important to us, and that will start building trust between us and the children and even their families, and then they will be more likely to listen to what we have to say about Jesus whenever we're teaching them those kind of things. So focusing on relationships is another important aspect in preparing. And you know, whenever we do these things, I feel like we will be best equipped and best prepared to move on into our class time. So what I'm going to do is, at the end of this video in just a second, I'm going to put back up all those things that we've talked about, and right after that I'm going to post some questions for you to kind of think about and to ponder. You know, if you keep a journal or keep a notebook or anything like that, you might want to write those down and just spend some time thinking about how you would answer each one. You know, I know personally for myself, it's best to always do a self-assessment and to see kind of what I'm doing in children's ministry and how I'm teaching the kids and how I respond to different situations, and think, is this the best way? Am I really doing it as well as I should? And if not, what do I need to change to make it better? So hopefully these questions at the end will help you do kind of a self-assessment and kind of get an idea of maybe some things you are doing well, but also some things you can improve upon. So take a look at these questions. Thank you for your time, and once again, thank you so much for your commitment to our children here at Cornerstone.